Alright, dude. Before we get into any specific Laguz, tell me your feelings here. How does this banner make you feel? And is your wall in the open, or is your nuts in the open? I don't know. Let me know.
I have no real radiance bias, so that doesn't really catch me. Although I will say,
It's furry bait.
Hey, Weens. Hey, dude.
they count because they're flying units.
It's furry bait.
It's furry bait.
Too.
That makes a lot. Look at how good she looks. Oh my
yeah,
god.
Oh, by the way, the art for those characters is already out.
Oh, we gotta check that out.
Yeah, let me give you that in the guest chat.
They look so good. This is hot fire. Oh my god, look at her.
Yeah, the art is top par, I must say. Although I do hear some people not liking Nailah as much.
Her art is kind of different. She kind of looks a lot more... I'm not trying to sound racist, but she looks more African than she was in her game. Not trying to be racist. I know. She's supposed to be based on, you know, African culture.
Yeah, not a lot of that in this game, so take what you can get.
Anyways, it finally happened. So I guess the biggest question is, was the wait worth it? How long did we wait for this again?
I'd say people have been asking for over 1.5 years now. These characters were some of the highest on Choose Your Legends 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, for quite a while, I'd say. And I'd say it's pretty worth it. I mean, if you want really busted units, then you're probably gonna find some of them here. But I'd say it's pretty worth it.
Alright, I think you're right. It was worth it because it makes perfect sense now. As I mentioned earlier, guys, if they put this banner out and additionally they just stuck with the armor meta, right? Imagine how conflicted people would be and how little leverage and movement they have after armor. If the game just boiled down to armor versus beast units, like right on the onset, you know, it would just completely... Okay, imagine this. Beast units were there year one. In year one, infantry was still very, very relevant. Flyers were much more relevant as well, even though they... Like all the special heroes, mages, flying mages were special heroes. That was restricting them. Dragons were immediately relevant as well, and obviously armor. If you had beast units in that mix too, it would really quickly boil down to a big mess. Instead, year one, they let us do whatever we wanted to before they shifted the meta heavily towards armor. And in year two onwards is what we're going to have soon. I really meant year one onwards is armor heavy, and in year two onwards, it's going to be beast heavy. That's what I see. They want to do these shifts and phases so that they can push people to, you know, change into another class. And you can already see year 5, it's armored beasts. That's what I'm seeing. Look, if it was armored beasts, they'll probably move at least 2 spaces when transformed. It's gonna be insane.
I don't even think we have enough beasts to cover that unless we start making a lot of OCs.
I think they will. You can see it, guys. It's the beast symbol, and then there's a symbol for what movement class they are. That already leaves it open.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
Furry bait.
That's the thing. Do we have any freebies here?
Nailah is the freebie.
Wait.
GHB, not Nailah. Nailah, the Raven King.
Oh, sorry, I heard you guys wrong then. Okay.
Yeah. So we have 3 of them. In other words.
That doesn't make sense. They should.
Eggus.
I think they should have put a hair on for free. Reyson for free, and then they should.
Reyson looks like the demote. That much is seeming to be certain.
I don't. That's the thing. It doesn't feel right to demote because his look at his skills: steady posture, fortified beasts. That's pretty damn good.
I mean, dual stances are already starting to fall, and fortified beasts. Well, let's put it this way: we've had fortified dragons for a while. It looks like they're just trying to accelerate to that demote already, as opposed to waiting for a year. And as a result, I don't really think that putting out fortified beasts for so long really makes sense. So why not just demote it now? That's the way I see it. Even though steady posture was released as a 5-star skill on Quan not even 6 months ago.
Okay, well, Quan hasn't even been out that long. 6 months? No, less than
Not
6
even.
months.
September.
September, right? That is, look, that's a bit too quick in my opinion. I think no demotes for this banner. Like, obviously, I would prefer a demote. I mean, having a chance at a flying singer that moves 3 spaces and also heals, like, that's so good.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the thing is, well, he only has 4 skills, and if I'm not mistaken, they've demoted those almost universally.
right, I know that.
I can't think of any examples where that hasn't been the case, and I think that they're trying to push us to have a couple of nice free-to-play option beasts, so we have a taste at what that meta's like, so that when they push out more and more of them, we want to keep going in. So why not put Nailah and Reyson out as free-to-play options right out the gate, and then go from there? It just seems like a logical progression for me.
Right. Wait,
Just be me though.
has Nailah come out yet? Like his skills?
No, because he's the GHB. He'll probably be coming out on Dynamine.
All right. I'm just gonna say this. That doesn't make me happy. I love the man, of course, but he's gonna be kind of handicapped by being a free-to-play hero. Now, with the merge changes, the handicap is much more minimized. You know, he's still gonna have that extra point in attack and speed most likely, but still, it's still gonna be like 2 or 3 points behind, depending on super banes or super boons. You know. Thanks, Plork, for following. I mean, super boons, super banes don't matter anymore.
Right.
But like, that's a fan favorite. He's not gonna be as viable as the other Laguz lords, and
Yeah, that is true.
and the banner name. That's so misleading. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil for Reyson and Leanne. But I'll say technically, yeah, I guess you're the ruler of your race. I guess you are.
Pretty much.
I know. For anyone who played the games, you know what I mean. Don't spoil it for people, please. But I guess that's technically true. But I really think Nailah should have been in here, definitely. From Rulers of Laguz, you know who I expected. Kalingas, I can't even say his name right. How do you say it?
Kalingas, I believe it is.
Right.
Lion King.
Yeah, the Lion King. Tibarn, of course. Nailah, of course. Like, and then, well, we already know Nailah came out, so that was what I was expecting for this banner. It's kind of unfortunate we weren't there.
Yeah. There were a lot of people who were not expecting it to be the Lords in general. They were expecting, like, you know, the simpler ones like Ranulf, but I think that as far as getting close to royalty is, you probably got everybody here except for Kalingas, really, and maybe Degansy. But, nah. I mean, yeah, it's a little weird that they didn't put Nailah on the banner and put both of the Herons in as summonable units, but I'll take it, nevertheless.
Okay, but what do you think they're gonna... Wait. Do we even know if there's which banners are after this?
No.
No, right. That's the thing. Also, I'm kind of disappointed that they mentioned contracts in this, but they mentioned contracts to other Laguz, which is I'm fine with. You know, you can have.
They mentioned it to Leaf, who is a Beorc because he's human,
right?
And he's a Heroes OC, if you remember. The guy with the sword.
Wait, what?
Leaf is the guy with the sword. Is a Heroes OC. He's not Hell, but he's one of Hell's generals.
Oh shit. Okay, I am so confused now. Now I remember. Okay. See, this is the problem when you only have story every, like, month and a half.
This one was really just because of the seasonal stuff getting in the way, but yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. You're right. When I first thought of him, I just remembered him being Askar. Now it makes perfect sense why it's so confusing to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So beast units, where do they go from here?
Whoops.
Because if you think about it, Path of Radiance, I'm sorry, Radiant Dawn, these are the epitome of beast units. You know, the lords and, well, this is okay. Like Tibarn was like the epitome. Nailah, epitome. I guess they still have like two lords left in the for the Lion Laguz, but that's about it. Like, how do you realistically get past them?
I don't know why they decided to put all the rulers in first, but there's still plenty of options afterwards that are bigger fan favorites, I dare say. In some cases, like, again, Ranulf,
and join F
pretty necessary to mention, or Lee. But well, I don't know why we're starting with their lords as opposed to going in with the retainers and stuff first. It just seems a little backwards.
Yeah. I mean, they did tease Tibarn and Nailah, but still, I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a weird jump to make, but at the same time, I'm not entirely complaining. That being said, even after that, though, we still have all the Fates and Awakening Beasts to go through, so there's that to follow up with.
Mm-hmm. There's still quite a lot left, and if you guys remember the way they're progressing through this game right now, that's plenty enough. It'll probably take 5 years before we get through all the beast units, given we're so far away from completing a lot of them. Like, okay, I really feel like they should be making less special heroes and less original heroes and just start getting through it, man.
I mean, to be fair, they only release, aside from like maybe throwing in Legiar and Hellbindi, they only release their own OCs once per year.
I'm just grouping it.
But the special heroes, yeah, I think that I mean, I realize there's a lot of seasons to accommodate for, but I think that having so few new heroes banners can be a little detracting.
Okay, hold on. Hear me out here. The reason why I said that is because I don't think they should be introducing new villains at all. I think Xander was one of the better choices that they have ever had for a villain in this game, because you know how Xander is. Even if his reasoning doesn't really make sense, you remind me of my sibling. Okay, sure. But it's nice that way, because you're hardly developing any of the characters you're throwing in here. Like Reed. What has he, like, he has done so little, and he's now a special hero. And a legendary hero. If you're going to do that, why don't you just, if you're not going to spend the time developing the characters to be, you know, interesting or special, why not just throw in characters already in the Fire Emblem games? Imagine if Hell's Side had, I don't know, like, Gnarf, or like, Best Dad. Like, you know, it's just, if you did that, you just had like all the supervillains together on the same team, you wouldn't even have to develop them that much, because for players who already play, like, oh, this makes perfect sense. You know, why they would be here, what they're trying to accomplish, you know. Instead, they make their own characters with questionable motives, and we don't really find out.
I guess that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, they kind of flesh them out afterwards with like forging bonds and ports that you can summon them and all that, but at that point, they've already done everything, and at that point, it just seems like it's kind of pointless to introduce them and then develop them after they've already done everything.
That's the worst part. That's the worst part. Book 2's over, and Freed's like out here in full force.
Yep. Reed didn't get to do pretty much anything until after the end of Book 2, when he became a legendary hero, and then suddenly he's already a seasonal. That was just kind of a little late, I'd say. But
what Creed actually did is mostly in past writing. Like, when you meet him and he just explains, like, I tried to kill Surtur. You know, I went for the legendary sword. I was so close to killing. Like, none of that matters. He could have literally said, I killed everybody in Muspel, but not Surtur, and it would not have impacted the story anymore, you know. He could have said literally anything, but that's my point. You got to develop the characters and have this plot progress with them, not them mentioning what they have done in the past that you have, like, you couldn't even tell anything like that even happened in the story before that point. So
yeah.
All right, but yeah, that's a lot of good breakdown for what we think is going to happen, some interpretations of things. Let's actually go through the heroes themselves now.